In the shadow of Mount Vesuvius, life continued normally. The streets of Pompeii were already awake before sunrise. Bakers pushed hot bread into ovens. Merchants prepared their stalls. Children ran through narrow Roman streets while fishermen argued near the harbor. Nothing about the morning felt unusual. Nothing except the mountain. For days, small earthquakes had rattled the city. Not violent enough to terrify people. Just enough to shake dishes. To crack walls. To wake families in the middle of the night. But Pompeii was used to earthquakes. The ground beneath southern Italy had always moved. People complained. Then continued with their lives. Which is why nobody panicked when the shaking returned again that morning. Even when birds suddenly disappeared from the sky. Even when dogs refused to stay calm. Even when smoke began rising from the summit of Vesuvius. Most people simply looked up. Then went back to work. Because the mountain had been silent for centuries. And silence creates confidence. By midday, the air felt strange. Heavy. Hotter than normal. Some citizens quietly left the city with their families. Others laughed at them. No one wanted to abandon their homes over smoke and tremors. Not yet. Then the mountain exploded. A violent blast ripped through the top of Vesuvius. A column of fire, ash, and stone shot miles into the sky. People stopped in the streets. Some froze. Others stared upward in confusion. Because they still didn't understand what they were seeing. The cloud continued climbing higher. Darker. Larger. Like a living thing spreading across the sky. And then, ash began to fall. At first it was light. Almost harmless. Tiny white fragments drifting over rooftops. Children reached out to touch it. Some people covered their heads with cloth and continued walking. But the ash didn't stop. Minute after minute. It became heavier. Pompeii slowly disappeared beneath gray dust. Panic spread through the streets.
Run for your lives! Look out, another one is coming! Keep moving, don't look back.
Citizens rushed home searching for relatives. Others ran toward the city gates carrying bags, jewelry, money. Anything they could save. But many still stayed behind. Because disasters are hardest to recognize in the beginning. Especially when escape still feels possible. Hours passed. The sky darkened further. Torches appeared inside homes even though it was still daytime. The earthquakes became stronger now. Buildings groaned. Statues cracked. People screamed every time the ground shifted beneath them. And still, Vesuvius continued roaring above the city. Rocks started falling from the sky. Not pebbles. Massive volcanic stones crashing through roofs. Families hid under tables. Some prayed to Roman gods. Others packed carts and tried escaping through crowded streets already buried in ash. But movement became slower by the hour. The deeper the ash became, the harder it was to walk. The city was turning into a trap. And Pompeii still had no idea the worst part had not even started. By evening, the sun disappeared completely. The city entered darkness. Not night. Darkness. The kind that makes people lose direction. Lose reason. Lose hope. Parents called for children they could no longer see. Neighbors became separated in the confusion. The sound of coughing filled the streets. Ash covered faces. Entered mouths. Burned lungs. And above everything else, the mountain continued to grow louder. Like it was getting closer. Some citizens finally made the decision to flee toward the harbor. They believed boats could save them. But thousands had the same idea. And every minute mattered now. Because Vesuvius was no longer simply erupting. It was collapsing. And when the mountain collapsed, Pompeii's final hours truly began. By midnight, Pompeii no longer looked like a Roman city. It looked buried. Ash-covered streets. Bodies of animals lay abandoned. Roof tiles littered the ground. The air itself had become difficult to breathe. Yet thousands of people were still alive. Still waiting. Still hoping the eruption would stop. Inside homes across the city, families huddled together in darkness. Some wrapped cloth around their faces. Others blocked doors against falling debris. Many believed surviving the night was enough. They were wrong. Outside, the ashfall became relentless. Roofs began collapsing under the weight. One after another. Without warning. A loud crack. Then screams. Entire families disappeared beneath stone and timber in seconds. The streets became filled with panic now. Not confusion. Not fear. Panic. People shoved past each other trying to escape the city gates. Some carried children. Some carried money. Some carried nothing at all. And through the darkness, Vesuvius continued thundering above them. Lightning flashed inside the volcanic cloud, briefly illuminating the city before everything vanished black again. Each flash revealed more horror. Collapsed buildings. Bodies in the streets. Citizens wandering blindly through ash. The world of Pompeii was disappearing hour by hour. Near the harbor, thousands gathered by the sea. Desperate. They believed ships would come. They believed water meant safety. But the ocean had already begun pulling away from shore. An unnatural silence spread across the coastline. Then came another explosion from the mountain. Louder than anything before.
Another one is coming.
People screamed.
Keep moving, don't
Some
look
dropped
back.
to their knees. Others began running again without direction. Because now even the strongest citizens understood something terrifying. This was not ending. The eruption intensified. Fast-moving waves of superheated gas and ash burst from Vesuvius. The first surges stopped short of the city. But Pompeii could hear them. A sound like the earth tearing apart. Still, many remained inside their homes. They believed thick walls would protect them. They believed waiting was safer than running. And for a while, the city survived. But survival was becoming temporary. Hours passed. The temperature rose across Pompeii.
Merciful God, hear our pleas.
Save us from this darkness.
Have mercy on your servants.
Bodies frozen in their final moments. A mother shielding her child. Citizens trapped while trying to escape. People still wearing jewelry. Still clutching belongings they believed would matter tomorrow. Pompeii became more than a disaster. It became a warning. Because the terrifying part was never just the eruption itself. It was how normal everything felt before it happened. The markets were open. The streets were alive. People laughed. People planned for tomorrow. While death stood above the city the entire time. Mount Vesuvius had warned Pompeii for days. The ground shook. Smoke rose into the sky. Animals panicked. Ash began falling. But human beings are skilled at ignoring danger. When normal life feels easier. And that decision buried an entire city. Pompeii did not slowly disappear. It vanished in a single day. And beneath the ash, it stayed frozen forever.